And that's that, so I'll take a ridiculous amount of death without even needing to pay for the cars. That's roughly 250 death without even need to pay for any of the Chinese province. Well, not gonna lie, I didn't see that in fact coming. King did have a comeback. I will start as Jiangsu. They're just literally better than all other ones. They have a better leader, a better death, a better size, and a better life. So let's... Wait. No, you're not having a deja vu. The video is in fact being remade. Well, at least the audio part. The first one, my microphone kinda died in the middle of the recording, and I kinda got myself into a bad situation. But I opened a poll in the community tab, and you guys really wanna see a new version of the same video here. So I take my time and a lot of effort and try to make another one kinda remain the same thing. It's not in my expertise deal with audio, you can probably tell at that point. So I did put a lot of effort here. So please consider subscribing, that will help me a lot, and I will leave you with the video. The first thing that we do need to be aware is our initial situation. Basically, we are going to form manchu and then form QING. So kind of a blob all the way around campaign. Allies is not that useful. And the first thing that we're gonna do is start by recruit of your unique cavalry. Well, unique unit that you can make a cavalry of that. That is our banner. They basically don't use that much, just a little bit of manpower and spawn people out of nowhere. And instead of money to recruit them, they cost corruption, which is not that big of a deal in the end of the day. And they have more discipline as well, but it costs us a lot of time to reinforce. It's the type of elite unit that you're going to use in order to, well, kill people, instead of just siege around. After recruiting our banners, we can take some decisions here that is not that important because as we form QING, our religion will be changed into Confucian. And if you play in that region and don't plan to form QING, just play as Zorat and form Yuan. It's way better. The states will be started by giving the large tribal hosts and the promise of the bannerman. We did in fact recruit our banner before because after we take that, you will get a penalty to our banner modifier. And if you are ready to recruit your banner, you'll not be losing anything. I also do really like the tribal military service. It's just basically the old school raised tribal hosts that will be just get some cavalry out of nowhere for the cost of a bit of influence. And in order to help us maintain the tribes in check while we do well still have the tribes, I'll be granted a greater autonomy of chieftains. I also recommend that you consolidate your navy here and try to not die for the navy of Orochoni. They can be pretty annoying sometimes. We'll be also selling some titles. And before Ceasar land, we'll be doing the manpower trick. Basically, recruit troops into your depleted manpower pool, summon the diary. Doing that, you'll be increase the chance of getting a specific agenda that's the manpower one. If you do work over the manpower, that should give us a cheaper advisor to work on Ceasar. And before let the day pass, set your rivals. I always like to rival both Haichi and Orochoni because they usually do ally each other, so if you can just, annex both of them, is a lot of power projection for free. And you can also rival Korea, but I don't recommend you doing that. When we do get free forming by forming manchu as a unique event that we have, they're more likely to ally each other. And what you can do here to help you for Urbana is contribute to orders. That will give us some reinforced speed, costs a bit of lighting, but it's not that big of a deal. We don't want to raise hosts yet. I will be contribute to orders because I want to get more banner cavalry quicker. And when you do get alliance offer, ignore that, just like the guild do to you. We can pretty much ally all the manchu tribes that we want. Well, we do rival both of them, so not them, I guess. But we don't want to do that. What we want to do is try to reach out someone here. Not the Arats, because we do need some of the Mongolia province to form QING. Basically, all the Manchuria region here is free real estate to us, because when we do form QING, we gain cores in all of the provinces. So yeah, that's pretty good. And yep, like I said, Haichi and Orochoni are indeed allied to each other. I did start already build a spy network here and there, and I will be co-belligerent Orochoni and going for the Yehe province. Our army is a bit more powerful than the other ones, so that's also useful. And our initial ruler is a chat of a general, and we do start with a mountain fort here. That will be indeed a limitation for the movement of the army of the ally here. So it's just a matter of wiping the army, occupying their province, and just after that, go for the ally. So let's try to get them here and maybe even wipe them. And that was not a wipe, but I almost won. And when we're fighting a minor nation that don't have that much of army, what we always want to do is to leave one stack behind and just after that chase them. Because as you can see here, I don't have the purest of the intentions. And that's a wipe. I'll be just carpet sieging a little bit. If you don't know how to do that, first shift consolidate your troops, detach the army for siege. In my game the hotkey is D, but you can just assign the hotkeys as you want, or you have probably a basic one, and send your army right away to all their province. Look that they don't even try to get my fort here. Because they are hordes, and hordes fighting the mountains, you kinda get the point here, right? I hope you get. If you don't get it, I always have my alright guide. You see is pretty neat. I explain a lot about hordes in that guide. Now that you already see the province here, I'll be going after the ally, and hopefully we can deal with them. Maybe not attacking the mountains, that's nice. Are you just going to stay here? Huh, I get. And now that I see they're trying to run away, you know what I'm going to do? Leave a sec behind, as always, and then go off. We do indeed have a better general, so that should be an easy fight. And rip. I will be capped siege the hell out of you as well. In that way, we will not be able to recruit troops anymore. That is just basically hard shenanigans. And now that the army are decimated and other provinces are being occupied, it's just a matter of waiting a little bit. And what I'll be doing in the meantime is to send a merchant to Beijing in order to collect, just because they're just lazing around. I did start to build a spy network in both Cochin and Nanai here, because they're the next alliance network that I'm going after. After that, I'll be going for Tibet. They're trying to improve relation with the Oirats, and that can be, how I gotta say that? Extremely painful to see, but after we do integrate Haichi, we can pretty much wipe the hell out of the army and occupy the province before they can get an ally. So let's hope that's happened first. And for Choni, a full annexation will do as fine. And yoink. Now what I will be doing here is raising a couple of provinces. Well, just raise our province that you can. I know we'll get cars here, so it's kind of a waste of that, but you know what they say? Raising is just about reallocating the population, if you get that. What we'll be doing here is just to call the 3 development province, because the other one are expensive to do. In order to form Manchu, we need to first have Jilin and Hukum, and a son of 20 provinces in the Jurchin or Manchu culture. We do start with 7 provinces. We'll get 5 more from here. Jilin we need to call anyway, so that's 6. That make this 13. The other province we will be getting from Nanai and Chibe. They do have a lot of low dev province, so if you can just don't pay for that province here, don't mind if I don't. And for Haichi, for annexation, a bit of money, and yoink. Always raise the province. With that, we can even complete one of our missions, that is to unite the fragments, that will not only be giving us some permaclans all around the place, which is always nice, but also recruiting out of nowhere 2 units that are extremely powerful. See that is the Step Riders, and see that he is Ceasar Cavalry. Basically, the Step Riders that just spawn in your capital are the Tech 10 Cavalry, and they have a lot of peeps here. So they will be integrated in the main cars of our army and do a lot of damage in anyone that you want to fight, namely now, Chibe. And for the province that I just conquered for Haichi, I will be only calling Jilin, because one of the ones that we really need to call. And that's alright. And now, once again, just carpet siege the hell out of the nation. For annexation and a bit of money should be just fine, and always score on the cheaper province. Remember, in the end of the day we only need 20 core province. So in order to accomplish that, play smart, not hard. Basically, we only need more 3 province. That one here and Corin. So in order to accomplish that, let me declare not even in Nanai, but in Cochin and co-belligerent Nanai. Set one of the provinces that you can easily take, such as Boduna, and let's dive in. And that's nice. So once again, Capet siege out and go for the other guys, and that should be enough to catch you. And now let's go after them, and that should be a wipe. Yes indeed. Now get carpet sieged, son. That is what you deserve. And I think that it's over for them. Whoa, raising power again and morale of army. Sure, please, twice as much if I can. And at that point in the game you can already start build a spy network in Ming, because they don't have money, they just pass their form. How silly of you, dude. And when we do form Manchu, we will not be getting a truce with me, and just drop the tributary and also drop their mandate by 20 if I'm not mistaken. Basically, as soon as our car here in Nanayardon, you'll be right away declared on them. Or if you want to play a little more safe, we can go after the Oirats. But I don't like to do that. I like to go after the Oirats only after I did already a bit of consolidation here, because the freaking Oirats, they are kinda strong. That's indeed a lot of rebels. And I did in fact wait a little bit in order to show you something cool that we'll be doing after I deal with their army stack here. I'll be selling some titles that will make the hearts loyal, or well, at least with more than 50 opinion with me. I'll be raising some hosts, and when I do get the cavalry here, I'll be completing that mission. That will give us some raising power again, some manpower recovery speed, and some early yard unit. And I don't even have to say that's pretty neat, right? And that's enough. Now that I just grabbed my modifier here, I'll be making my peace deal. Of course, Nanai, full annexation, money, and yoink. Like I said, I'll be calling the Chiba province, and that should be enough to us to complete our decision here. We just need to win more province and be at peace. That's really the hard thing now. QING, also give me your province. I like your province. And that's already a cute name placement. Oh no, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. That's pretty bad. The thing here is Ming did in fact break the tributary with us. It's pretty bad because if they do that, we did in fact get a truce. I don't get why we get a truce if they break the tributary. Don't make any sense to me. But if you get free by the event of forming the Manchu nation, will not get us a truce and you're right away able to declare on them. But since that's not the case, I will move my troops a little bit here and we're going after the Oirats. Because after all, in order to form the Qing dynasty, we need the Qinghai province. And for a new set of rivals, I will not be picking Korea and Ming like I said. I'll be picking instead Ming and Oirat and start build a spy networking Oirat in order to help us with the siege. And let's dive in. I will not give in way too much cost to be done here because it's no use. Instead of that, I really prefer to just, spend my time doing something more useful. Getting some Mongols is always a nice thing to do. Qinghai as our war goal, and let's go. The war here should be pretty easy. We do have a military advantage over them, like almost 2 tags over them already. They don't even have feudalism yet, so they should not be catching us at any time soon. That being said, they did have a lot of troops and their cavalry is pretty powerful, so try to make your troops a little closer to your province and bait them into a province that you want to fight. I would like to fight in Qinghai. It's not a river crossing or anything, so it's a pretty good province to fight, I think. And my leader is even better than the one they should have. They already lost their god tier initial ruler, so in terms of general, they don't have any more general. Okay, now that I just grabbed my next military attack, you're coming at me? Not smart. Not smart indeed. Yep, indeed not that great of a movement, if I might say. So let's take your capital, shall we? And look what you got here. Whoa, that's a pretty good vibe that you gave me, that son. And yep, there you do. Now that's a rather big Jiangzhou. So I'll be first raising the province, beautiful as their own, and now look at that, a wild Manchu has appeared. And now I need to clarify 2 things. First of all, if we can form Manchu and still add a tributary under Ming, we're not going after the Oirats yet. Do that only after beating up Ming, because they have a quite big army indeed, and they will be probably at 0 mandate, and that's pretty good to us. So now I'll be waiting to my course to be done, and after that got completed, I'll be declaring Ming for the mandate of having CB, and I'll be in fact taking the mandate, because that is not exactly a speed farming, but if I can, I want to farm Qing right away. And because I'm both a liar and the Oirats decide to declare on our rightful clan here, I'll be getting to Solon before they can, and basically just cock blocking them, because it's, mine and mine alone. So give me that, please. Well, looks like I will need to make that into my tributaries, huh? That will do just fine. It's just something to cock block the Oirats anyway, so yeah. Now we even get some more free states. Nice. I like free stuff. How are you even able to take that province? What the f? Now I'll be recruiting more banners, because banners are always nice. And now we can complete the Dominate Rival Junction mission. Will give us a godlike ruler 666 that has a unique trait, the Legendary Conqueror, basically the Conqueror trait, but a bit better. Is 5 years of early separatist and 10% more shock damage. And since we're still a horde, shock damage is almost all the damage that we will be dealing anyway, so you're going to rip apart the Ming army. And don't you look at that, Uzbek want to be buddies with us, so that's one step closer to have another of our missions completed. That will give us some yearly horde unit, which is always nice, and it will give us even a cheaper advisor. And let us proceed to our next mission. And you're really standing a province that I'm just about core, literally 100%. Really, dude? Really? Okay, now that I'm indeed taking the province back, what I'll be doing in order to make the war a little easier to us, now that it's really hard war anyway, is recruit a free company right on their border. For 2 reasons. The first one is, well, complete honor for missions, that will give us some ally drill modifier, and when we do recruit some banners, we gain a bit of corruption, that later can be stacking, well, a lot of corruption. But after we do complete that mission here, we'll be getting minus 0.1 corruption for every banner that we do recruit. Keep in mind that corruption scale with your banner force limit, and when we do farm Qing, we will be getting more banner force limit. That being said, I'll be taking that mission here. And now, finally, what we want to do is to take the Mandate of Heaven, that is going to give us a casus belli that we need to go after Beijing, and every single province that we will take in the war will be half costed, and that's pretty good stuff, Send your master stack to Shenyang for here. I'm not sure is that the correct pronunciation, but anyway. And your main stack goes straight to Benji. We don't care that much about the province here, and after we take both of the forts, we can... Oh, okay, for a second, I just thought that my godlike ruler just died, but no, it's just some shit hard that after all I'll be disinherited because... 2 for 1? No, that's a no-no. And keep in mind that the Ming army at that point in the game, if they do have low mandate, pretty much paper, and we can read apart all the army. And because how Ming work in this patch, they just basically start dead because of the internal issues. So take the province, take the forts, it's free real estate. Free real estate. Oh, that's even a breach. Oh, you're so screwed. And yeah, now that our relation with Uzbek is already high enough, we can take the best mission in the game for the hearts. I'm pretty sure that is just for the memes. Basically, we are going to gain some early unit that is cool, I guess. We are just about to not be a horde in mode, but sure. And when you do take the fort here, take your mercenary stack and go after Beijing. That one here will probably fall first. And use your main stack, like your manpower stack, and go after the army that at that point should be causing some troubles around Mongolia. We can pretty much wipe their entire ass in just one go with some luck rolls, you know, and take in Beijing. And that's nice. So maybe I can manage to reinforce the battle. And now that Beijing is already down, we can focus on taking other forts such as the one here in Ningxia and that Datong fort here. The Datong one can be quite painful, but since we did kill a lot of Ming troops, like a lot of them, they probably won't have the willpower to come after me. And because I have a lot of middle power just lying around, and I don't want to grab, I can even grab the DA groups yet, I will start to develop the institution here in the Shanghai province, because after we do farm chain, our capital will be Beijing, and that's a pretty good province to develop. It's a grassland province and don't have any malus, and are in the North Hebei state. So when we remove our capital, we will be getting a free governing cost state around here. So yeah, I'll start to drop some points here, maybe, yeah, and eventually we'll spawn the institution. So I want to make my mountain fort even better. Sure, I think that we are already spread free into the heart, but the event happens because we are still a horde with more than 300 development in the border of the Emperor of China. So after we do take the mantle, you either need to vassalize Oirat via tributary or directly conquer them, because we, you know, don't want to take that pretty bad event. It's really bad, and we don't want to see that thing happens, right? How cool of you to try to take my capital. Not today, son. Not today. And yep, that's what I was talking about. Holy, that unholy amount of troops. Yeah, sure. That sounds fair. Okay, considering how bad you're losing that fight, I will say that's a bit fair. I will give you that. And that's enough? Yeah, that's enough. I will take that province here, and the tree that is needed to farm chain is both here in order to reach Nanjing, because I want Nanjing, and money, because I really like money, and money should be quite useful in my bank account. So that's it for... oh yeah, of course, the mandate as well. After all, that's the whole thing, right? And that's, lads, how will be the shit out of Ming. Now we can pick some banners, I think. Yes, we can pick some banners, but I will be first of all forming Qing, because that's pretty cool, and that's a cool color, and that's a cool name placement. And the Qing ideas are just insanely good. They have right from the bat 25 calculation cost, they get perma-cleanse in out of China, they get 10% aggressive expansion, and when we do complete the national ideas, we get 50% advisor cost. We get some more banners here. We get also really good modifiers such as manpower modifier and manpower recovery speed, even meritocracy, because now we are indeed a celestial empire and a kingdom. Admin efficiency, because it's not like we can already conquer a lot, right? For the province that I just conquered, I will only need to core that one here, because I gain a free core in both Nanjing and Beijing, and now Beijing is indeed my capital. So I'll be finishing the development here, and now you have indeed institution in your country. And after this path to Beijing, it will be pretty cheap to embrace, at least way more cheap than we just like start developing around here. You'll be pretty bad. Beijing itself is already quite high dev province, so if you can just grab attack here. Our first idea, you'll be choosing all the new ones, the core ideas. The idea itself is pretty nice, pretty neat. We grab some more monarch depot skill, we grab some elect splendor, but the main thing here is mandate grow and early meritocracy. You know, mandate is quite hard to get, and the mandate form are pretty good, like getting some free colonies, some move speed because of reasons, but the most broken one is probably elevate tributary stats. Means that we can pick a tributary and turn them into a vassal, and that's truly busted, because as the Emperor of China, we do get the forced tributaries to be in all nations around the world. Don't matter the size. If you bother me, I will tributarize you. You may pay tributes to your Chinese overlord. please. I'll be making full state of the province here, because after all, it's full core of us. We do get a lot of cores here. Now, we do get access to one of the unique CBs of the Emperor of China, Unified China. The Unified China CB is basically a half cost to take province in the Chinese subcontinent, but if you do occupy province, every province that we do occupy will become our core. So basically, can you see the entirety of China here? It's really free Euro state. For the states, I will finally setting some things. But since we don't want to go lower than 50 crown, I'll be getting the mana privilege only for the clergy or Chizu, and for the King 1, the mana privilege as well. King 1 in officer court, supremacy over the crown, granted court positions. King 1 officer rights, because it's a really good one. For the Chizu, clerical minister, because now we are Confucianists. If you don't get yet, it's the most broken religion in the game. We can pretty much accept all religions in the world. Religious diplomat, because diplomatic reputation is always nice. Clerical education, religious delegation. And for the shaman or the merchants here, promote some bookkeeping. For merchants advisory board, I will also be giving that for the other tools. And in just a moment, I will explaining I would really want to have cheaper advisors. And for a new state here, the state that was introduced in the new patch, the eunuchs, all things that we give to them will hurt us in corruption, so we don't want to give them that much stuff. But they do have some really good modifiers, such as the provincial administration, that is a must-have, eunuchs land rights, and I'll be giving just one more privilege in order to maintain the equilibrium, being the establish a favor system. I'll be summing the diet and go for the one that best suits me. Deal with rebels. I think that we can do that. I know that our army now is significantly worse. We are not in the nomadic type group. Now we are kind of a Chinese thing, because while nomadic is really strong in the beginning, but really bad later on. So Qing is a power to be reckoned with, but in the beginning we will be basically going for our missions here, stabilizing the nation, get your shit together. Then after consolidate the whole subcontinent, you'll be going for some really nasty things. And one more thing that I need to say to you, now that we're not a horde anymore, grab your cavalry, detach the special units, and send your cavalry to the limbo, because they're just expensive and we don't want them. So you're saying that we are both a legendary conqueror and a conqueror? Well, I do like that, but I don't really like your son very much. So I'll be dropping here in the ocean, okay, and let me talk a bit of meritocracy. Basically, we do have a system here that every single one of our advisors give us some meritocracy, like you can see here. Gohon give us 0.25, and if you do upgrade them, now he gives us 0.5. So if you do employ high-level advisors, our meritocracy goes up, and meritocracy itself gives us some advisory cost reduction. I kinda see what's going on here. Well, following recent writings, I recorded that part in another day. I need to take at least 8 to 10 hours of deep sleep per week in order to continue making some infam jokes about how much your country. Like I was saying, we don't have that much to do now until we wait for tools to mint to expire. So I think that we're going after Korea in the meantime and try to make 1 or 2 tributaries. Will be pretty nice as well. As the Emperor of China, the tributaries is kind of our thing, being also the reason that I kept Navik alive, but apparently just got vassalized by the Oirats that is just trying really hard to screw with me. But if we don't have that much to fear, our truce will be expiring in 3 years. When that happens, we need to be prepared for that war. I think that I said, but I will say again, we are not a horde anymore, so the outcomes of our battle will not be that easy, and coming back in both texts and ideas is there a deal for us now. After all, we do stack a lot of good modifiers around here, and most of our missions need us to just build up our nation at the end of the day. That's kind of the whole thing about being the Emperor of China. That we said, I'll be trying to alleviate a little bit of the devastation, because that is kinda hurting our mandate right now. It's not like a 37 devastation province is going to be, well, prosperous anytime soon. In order to keep the whole wealth of our economy going on, I'll be also start by reducing some autonomy here and there, and that's enough to make us make almost 10 ducats of balance and almost 30 ducats of income. So we are getting there, believe me. And what we can do that will both help us with our mandate and help reduce the truce with me is to declare in Korea. They kinda just get guaranteed by me. I get that they don't want me to get them, but that's not exactly how we're going to do that, fella. So let's dive in. Matter of fact, I will not be even focused on Korea right now. I'll be first focused on me. We want a white piece for them. That will be alone, reducing our truce rules for like 12 years. And in the end of the day, we do have a really decent mountain fort here that will take ages to be sieged. So yeah, good luck with that. And just stand your capital is enough to piss them out. Sure, I gladly accept that. Now it's time to beat up Korea before they can just, well, develop into space. And tell you, Korea is trying to ascend to EU5. I'm almost sure of that. Almost sure. And when the annex of the Qing Empire event do fire, never take the option that you empower them. They're just douchebags and we don't want to grab that. You just drop the lottery, but we don't actually care. And now because I have some spare crawland here, I can even take that mission already. And if you do choose to empower the annex in the event, that you get a massive amount of yearly corruption that for 15 years you will kill your economy and they will even get more influence, so that's a no good. But alternatively, or expand palace bureaucracy decree, that's the decree that gives us some dev cost and some co-creation costs, will also be giving me some advisor cost reduction as well. So, you know, get some corruption or get some advisor cost. It's for you to choose. And for the next mission, we need to build a shit ton of courthouse. So when I say that the mission 3 of Qing is about develop your nation and just building things, I was not kidding. I'm not even lying. And because I did finally pick the mission ready, I'll be also giving the +1 mana for champion, basically the merchants. And like always, the Korea they don't just give up, you know? They just don't give. And let me see here if I can just win the fight before they come. Yep. That's a wipe. That's definitely a wipe. Okay, that's a wrap. In order to be able to embrace the institution already, I'll be taking some of the burger loans here. Remember, it's not that good of idea to stay with the burger loans here because as we take at least 5 loans, we start to lose the mandate because of the loans. And as you complete another one of our missions that will just require me to have 3 stability and a bit of meritocracy, I can take for 25 years global prosperity plus 0.5, and from now on, for every reform that I pass as the Emperor of China, I'll be losing some autonomy of my province, which is always nice. And I can already pass reform here, but you know, I'm kind of in a war here and I need to go to another war and probably a lot of wars because the Ming explosion is just about to happen. So losing mandate right now is not the ideal. So believe that for later. And because my free company stack is completely depleted, I'll be recruiting another one. Probably the cheapest. That is right now the Kyushu Coal. It's one of the ones that I can afford, but not exactly afford. So yeah, kind of a precarious situation, but believe me, just okay. 404 is, I don't know. I'll be also throwing you out of the window when the war is over. Okay, we got independent, and because we do in fact have a border of them, which kinda nice, we did get the unified China CB against them. Don't be misleaded, they are indeed quite big. That's just how province in China works. What I'll be doing here is to declare before they can get any ally. I often see they not only ally Chicago, but the other miners that will soon pop out of Ming. But as soon as we complete our war here with Korea, you'll be right away turning the attention to them, and that should be pretty easy. After all, they just spawn out of nowhere, and we do have a military advantage. You're not going to take my mountain fort here before I got your flatland, right? That's just not gonna happen, right? Okay, fine. And by taking Halcyon, wait, not exactly Halcyon, but the fort, we get a Triptaka Koreana that we always bring to our capital if we can. You get some harmonization speed, institution growth, and monthly splendor. Now, for Korea, I'll be taking money, and money. I don't want anything else. And now I will finally start focus on China. And why? Now, such as the war with the Manchu tribes, it's just a matter of carpet stitching everything and take the province to ourselves. And you can see something cool here. Whenever I take a province with the unified China CB, we get a core. Look at the province here. We only have a clan. And when we take the province, now it's a core. So basically is out of China for free. Can you tell something even better than a free China? Because I can. No, it's a serious question. Please tell me. You can write here in the comments what's better than a free China. For my first government power, I'll be taking compromise with the nobility because will not give you only stability costs, but also meritocracy, and meritocracy is extremely useful as I already pointed, and because the war with EU is already over and already seeing some nations pop out of nowhere here and there, I'll be declaring me your to snake a little bit. Or I keep some stationary troops here in the Hangzhou capital of EU. Oh, they allied themselves to Bengal, but I think that's still doable. I believe. Once again, unify China, and let's get in. And I don't even need to get some troops here because the siege just fall. And because that is just core, so no admin to core, no overextension. I can just take the province with a bit of delicacy if I can, and keep all my attention here in me and this ally, Bengal, that is probably not even be able to get to me. I expect that, at least. And because I almost reached my admin power cap, I'll be taking the new technology, even if it's a bit ahead of time, because in the end of the day, our next idea will be an admin on, namely infrastructure, because it's quite decent with core ideas, and infrastructure itself is kinda broken right now. It is really broken right now, to be fair, and it feels really nice with our new mission tree that is basically dev the hell out of China and the hell out of Manchuria. Let's take a dev one. And for my new decree, I'll be taking expand policy bureaucracy, that because of the mission that we take with the eunuchs is giving us some advisor cost reduction as well. Now level 2 advisor at just about 3 ducats, and that will get even better, believe me. That's kind of a small Mongolia. Sure, don't mind if I do. They don't even have an army. Holy, tell me something about a godlike ruler. Really? He's just a legendary conqueror, and expiring leader. I don't think I ever had that great of a ruler before. And because Bengal is a red bar of the war, they want a white peace with me, and that left me alone with the poor Ming that will be suffering the most disgusting peace deal in the history of peace deals, because Ming is about to explode and we already seen some new nations, and when they do that, a lot of miners will be just popping out of nowhere, so you kinda want to be in every single place at the same time. And the only way to do that is basically snake. You don't need to take the exactly same template as me, but in that way here, we can fight Shu, we can fight Shun, we can fight everyone. And that's that. So I'll take a ridiculous amount of dev without even needing to pay for the cars. That's roughly 250 dev without even need to pay for any of the Chinese province. And when you do take a celestial reform, you're going to take a big hit to the mandate, but if you can take the mandate here, it's not that big of a deal anymore. For my first celestial reform, what I think we should always go for, believe it or not, is the civil registration, because most of the requirements of our mission tree are about devon and building and that kind of thing, and if the expanded policy bureaucracy with infrastructure and with civil registration together with prosperity and the state edicts, we've been deving our province for pretty much anything. I'll be losing on stability for 80 mandate is a pretty big hit, and if you do that right now, you'll be getting a massive penalty. But taking that mission here, or Monday, we'll be going back again. And now, it's not that bad anymore. You can also wait until we got the 100 Monday, but I will be ending the video here. And I did want to show you guys how to proceed into that. The idea that I am about to complete an extremely powerful, and you understand why. The last idea is +1 D plus Q, that combined with the monument in Korea that we will pick later, will be extremely powerful. And if you do combine that as well with the nice administration, basically you'll be getting a +3 admin and +1 diplo. So in the way that the monarch generation is calculated, you'll be pretty much having just godlike rulers such as our current ruler, the 666. And of course, when we do complete court ideas, you also get some meritocracy, which is quite nice. But even better than that, you'll be getting mandate. So roughly 14 years, we form Manchu, we form Qing, we beat up the Mongols, we beat up the Koreans, we beat up Ming twice, we beat up some miners, we beat up every single one that dared to defy us. We establish an extremely wealthy economy that is just about to go even better when you make states out of cars that we got here. We also have a pretty decent amount of crowdland, a really decent amount of army, and our manpower is just getting decent. Not gonna lie, that could be better, but definitely could be worse. Basically, the low mandate is affecting us a lot, so it's just a matter of waiting time, grabbing mandate, through to cycling Ming, starting Korea, and then you can decide what you're gonna do with Japan. I can't be friendly, but you know, the Japanese islands are kinda wealthy, so maybe why should I? That being said, hope you enjoyed the video. please leave a like, subscribe as well, of course. A lot of you guys are watching my video until here and not subscribing, and then just go and watch another video of mine and don't subscribe as well. Hurt, dude. I have feelings as well. So, see you later.